Welcome to my channel, English Audiobooks. Have you ever stood near someone and wanted to talk, but didn't know what to say? Your mouth stayed closed. Your mind went blank. You wanted to be friendly, but the English words didn't come. That's called a small talk moment. And if you learn it, your English will grow faster, your confidence will grow deeper, and you will feel more like yourself in English. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt lost in a small talk moment? Chapter 1. My first small talk moment, and why I froze. I remember the first time someone spoke to me in English. It was a small moment, a simple question, but to me, it felt like a storm. I was standing at a bus stop. The sky was gray. The weather was cold. A man next to me looked at the sky and smiled. Then he said, "Cold day, huh?" He was just being nice, just saying something, just trying to talk. But my heart jumped. I heard the words, but I didn't understand them fast enough. My brain heard the sound, but the meaning came too slow. I looked at him. I wanted to answer. But no words came out of my mouth. I just smiled, a nervous, frozen smile. The man looked away. The moment was gone, and I felt small. That was my first small talk moment. At that time, I didn't even know what small talk meant. I thought, why do people talk about the weather? Why do they say hello when they don't want a long conversation? But later, I understood something important. Small talk is not about deep conversation. It is not about serious questions or big ideas. It is about connection. It is about being friendly. It is about showing that you are open, that you care, that you see the person next to you. It is soft. It is short. But it is powerful. Many English learners feel scared of small talk, not because the sentences are hard, but because they happen fast. You don't have time to prepare. Someone says, "Hi, how are you?" And you panic. You think, what do I say? What if I make a mistake? What if I sound silly? I know that fear. I had it too. But I want to tell you something. Small talk is your friend. It is not a test. It is your chance to grow. When you speak English in school, you study grammar. You learn rules. You write long sentences. But real English lives in short moments. In the shop, on the bus, at work, at the gym, with a neighbor, in the elevator. Those little seconds when someone looks at you, smiles, and says something, that is your moment. That is your chance to speak, to learn, to connect. I didn't understand this at first. I used to avoid small talk. If someone walked by, I looked at my phone. If someone said, "Hello," I just nodded. I didn't want to speak. I was afraid of mistakes. I thought, better say nothing than say it wrong. But that was my mistake. Saying nothing was safe, but it didn't help me grow. One day, something changed. I was at the library. I saw a man reading a book I liked. I was standing near him. My heart was beating fast. I wanted to say something. Just one sentence. I thought, maybe this is my moment. I looked at him and said slowly, "That's a good book." My voice was small. My grammar was not perfect. But the man looked up and smiled. He said, "Yes, I like it." That was it. A short talk, a few seconds. But I felt proud. I did it. I spoke. I used English in real life. That moment changed something inside me. Small talk started to feel possible. Not easy, but possible. And slowly it became something I looked for, not something I ran from. At the shop, I said, "Nice weather today." In the lift, I said, "Which floor?" In class, I said, "Hey, how was your weekend?" Each time, my voice grew stronger. My words came faster. My confidence got bigger. So, what is small talk? It is those short, friendly sentences we use every day. It is how we start conversations. It is how we break the silence. It is how we practice speaking without pressure. You don't need big words. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to try. And when you do try, something magical happens. You don't just speak English. You start to feel like a person who lives in English, a person who can walk into the world and talk to others. That feeling is better than any grammar book. That feeling is real growth. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to speak. One sentence, one smile, one short talk. That's how I started, and that's how you can start too. Chapter 2. The Power of Small Talk in Real Life. I used to think speaking English meant giving long answers, using big words, or knowing perfect grammar, but that idea made me nervous. It made me afraid to speak. I stayed silent in many situations, but later I learned the truth. Speaking English doesn't always mean giving speeches. Sometimes it means just saying one small sentence. Sometimes it means making small talk, and that can be powerful. Let me tell you what I mean. I remember walking into a shop. It was a small grocery store near my house. I went there often, but I never spoke. I only pointed at things. I gave money. I said nothing. I was shy. I didn't want to say something wrong. I didn't want the shopkeeper to laugh at me or look confused. So I stayed quiet. But one day, something small happened. The shopkeeper smiled and said, "Busy today." I didn't expect it, but I took a deep breath. I smiled back. I said, "Yes, many things to do." It was just 5 words, just a simple answer. But he nodded and smiled. I felt something new. I felt like I was part of the world, like I was not invisible, like I had joined in. That's the power of small talk. You don't need to talk for hours. You don't need to speak fast. Just one short sentence can open a door. That door leads to confidence. That door leads to practice. And that door leads to connection. After that, I started noticing small talk everywhere. At the park, people said, "Nice day, isn't it?" At the bus stop, they said, "The bus is late again." In the classroom, students said, "Did you do the homework?" These were not deep questions. They were easy, short, everyday comments, but they were real. They were alive, and they were in English. Each time I answered, I got stronger. My brain listened. My mouth moved. My heart felt proud. These small moments were helping me more than I realized. They gave me real-world practice. They helped me speak without fear. You see, small talk is not just about words. It is about confidence. When you say, "Hi," or "How are you?" or "It's hot today," you are not just speaking English. You are telling your brain, "I can do this." You are showing yourself that English is not a subject in a book. It's a language to live in. One time I was walking my dog. A woman passed by. She smiled and said, "Cute dog." I felt brave. I said, "Thank you. He's very friendly." She stopped for a moment. We talked a little more. Nothing deep. But I remember walking home that day with a big smile. I had made a connection, just with a few words. And that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel that you can speak too. You can start small. You can say one sentence. You can make a small comment. Maybe in a shop. Maybe on the street. Maybe in class. You will feel nervous, yes, but try anyway. You will make mistakes, yes, but speak anyway, because those short moments are your real English classroom. In real life, we don't always have time to prepare. We don't have a notebook in our hands. We just speak. We just live. That's why small talk is so useful. It gives you practice in the real world. It teaches you rhythm, speed, and courage. And it does all this without pressure. So don't wait for a big moment. Don't wait for someone to ask you a long question. Start with the little moments. The weather, the time, the traffic, the shop, the classroom. These are your opportunities. Small talk may feel small, but the result is big. Big confidence, big learning, big progress. That's what happened to me, and it can happen to you too. Chapter 3. Simple phrases for small talk. Practice with me. Now let's talk about something very useful, something you can use today. Real small talk phrases, easy ones, natural ones. Phrases that I used. Phrases that helped me speak when I didn't know what to say. And I want you to practice with me. Just listen. Then repeat after me. Slowly. Gently. Like a friend talking to a friend. I remember sitting on a bench one day. A man sat beside me. We both looked at the sky. It was sunny. It was warm. I looked at him and said, "Nice weather today." That's it. That was the full sentence. He smiled and said, "Yes, perfect day." We didn't say much more, but it felt good. I spoke English. He understood me. I understood him. That moment stayed in my heart. Now I'll share those small phrases with you. I'll say them slowly. Then you repeat after me, just like we are sitting together and talking. Are you ready? Hi, how are you? Repeat after me. Hi, how are you? Good. Let's try another. Nice weather today. Your turn. Nice weather today. Now try this one. What do you do? Slow and clear. What do you do? This one is very common. Where are you from? Now repeat. Where are you from? Now, something we hear every day. How was your day? Repeat after me. How was your day? Very good. You are doing great. These are simple phrases, but they are powerful because they open doors. They start conversations. They help people feel warm. They show interest. They make connection. Let's try more. Do you come here often? Your turn. Do you come here often? Here's a friendly one. I like your bag. Say it with me. I like your bag. Or this. That looks nice. What is it? Slowly now. That looks nice. What is it? And now a very kind phrase. Have a great day. Say it again. Have a great day. You don't need to memorize everything. Just choose 2 or 3. Practice them every day. Say them out loud. Say them to yourself. Say them in the mirror. Say them to a friend. Say them in your heart. The secret is not how many phrases you know. The secret is how comfortable you feel using them. Repetition brings comfort. Speaking brings confidence. Small phrases build strong English. One day I was waiting in line at a coffee shop. A girl beside me looked at the menu and said, "Too many choices." I smiled and said, "Yes, I never know what to get." She laughed. We talked for a few minutes. Then we both got our coffee and left. That was all. But I walked out of that shop with a bigger smile than usual. Because I used English, I made small talk, and it felt real. So practice these phrases with me one more time. Hi, how are you? Nice weather today. What do you do? Where are you from? How was your day? Do you come here often? I like your bag. That looks nice. What is it? Have a great day. Say these again and again. Slowly. Softly, like music. Make them part of your voice, part of your life, part of your English. You don't need to be perfect. Just be real. Speak with a smile. Speak with heart. That's enough. That's more than enough. And one day, you'll be sitting somewhere, a shop, a bus stop, a classroom, and someone will speak to you, and the words will come. Maybe not fast, maybe not perfect, but they will come, and you'll feel proud, because you practiced, because you believed, because you were ready. Let's keep going. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to live in it. Chapter 4. How Small Talk Grows Your English Without Feeling Like Study. When I was a student, I thought I had to sit down with a book, open my notebook, and write grammar rules again and again to become good at English. I thought learning English only happened in the classroom. I thought I had to read long passages, memorize vocabulary lists, and pass tests to improve. But when I look back now, I see something different. I see that my English grew in places I didn't expect. It grew in the shop. It grew on the street. It grew at the bus stop. It grew in moments that didn't feel like study. It grew in small talk. Small talk changed everything for me because it made English feel like a living thing. I didn't feel like I was in a test anymore. I felt like I was in the world. Speaking English didn't feel like school. It felt like life. When someone said, "Good morning," and I said, "Good morning" back, that was a moment of growth. When I asked, "How's your day?" and someone replied, "Busy, but good." That was English practice, but it didn't feel hard. It didn't feel like homework. It felt like being human. Small talk helps your English in so many ways. First, it gives your brain real practice. When someone speaks to you, your brain listens, finds meaning, and chooses words. It works fast, faster than when you write in a book. It connects your ears, your mind, and your mouth. That connection is powerful. The more you use it, the faster it gets. Second, small talk gives you confidence. Each time you say one sentence and someone understands you, you feel a little stronger. Each time someone smiles at your words, you feel more ready to speak again. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build, one sentence at a time. Another way small talk helps is through natural repetition. In school, we repeat vocabulary, but it feels boring. In real life, small talk repeats words again and again, but it feels real. For example, people often ask, "How are you?" You answer, "I'm fine, thanks." And you? You may say that every day. You hear it again and again, and soon it becomes easy. It becomes automatic. That's how language grows, not from stress, but from daily life. I also noticed something beautiful. When I used small talk, I started learning grammar without thinking about grammar. I would say, "It's a nice day," or "I'm going to the shop," or "She works here." These are small sentences, but they are full of grammar. Subject, verb, object. I didn't plan them. I just copied what I heard. I repeated what people said. I listened. I spoke. And slowly, the grammar became part of me. I didn't study the rule. I lived the pattern. One day, I was standing in line at the post office. An older man looked at the long line and said, "Always busy on Mondays." I smiled and said, "Yes, I should come earlier next time." We talked for just 1 minute, but in that 1 minute, I used English naturally. I felt it in my voice. I saw it in his face. It was not a lesson, it was a moment. And that moment made me better. That's why I believe small talk is a secret tool for English learners. It's free, it's everywhere, and it works. But many learners ignore it. They think, "Oh, that's just talking about the weather." That's not important. But they are wrong. Small talk is where your English comes alive. It's where your books become breath. It's where the words in your head come out of your mouth. And that's when you know you are really speaking. So don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait for a big English test. Start with small talk. Say hi to your neighbor. Say busy day to your teacher. Say, "This bag is heavy," to the person next to you on the bus. That one line can lead to a smile. A smile can lead to a chat. A chat can lead to confidence. And confidence can change your life. Every short conversation is a small seed. You plant it. You water it with practice. And one day, it becomes a tree. A tree of words. A tree of English. A tree of your own voice. You don't need more books right now. You need more small talks. That's how you grow without even knowing it. Chapter 5. Start small, but start today. I know it feels scary. I know your heart beats fast when someone speaks to you in English. You want to speak, but the words stay inside. You are afraid of saying it wrong. You are afraid of being laughed at. You are afraid of being judged. I was afraid too. I stayed quiet for many years. I waited for the right moment. I waited for perfect grammar. I waited until I felt ready. But the truth is, the perfect moment never came. The right time never arrived. And I realized something important. If I keep waiting, I will never speak. So one day, I stopped waiting. I decided to try. Not with a big conversation, not with a perfect sentence, just with something small. A smile, a short greeting, a few words. That was the beginning, and I want you to begin too. You don't have to speak for 1 hour. You don't have to explain everything. You don't have to be fast. Just speak one small sentence. Just say one small thing. Today, right now. When you see someone, your classmate, your teacher, the shopkeeper, a neighbor, just say, hello, or say, busy day, or say, nice weather today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. When you do this, something magical starts to happen. Your heart still beats fast, but your words come out. You see someone understand you, you see someone smile, and your brain says, I did it. That feeling is powerful. That feeling will give you energy to do it again tomorrow. I remember one day I was walking home. A woman was carrying heavy bags. I stopped and said, Can I help you? She smiled and said, That's very kind, thank you. I walked with her for just 1 block. We talked about nothing special, but that small talk made me feel like a real English speaker. I didn't think about grammar. I didn't think about mistakes. I just spoke. I just helped. And that moment is still in my memory. Because that was a moment of courage. You have that same courage inside you. I know you do. You are here. You are learning. You are listening to this video. That means you care. That means you want to grow. And growth starts with one small step. Small talk is that step. It is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. It is not a long lesson. It is a short, kind connection. It is 2 people seeing each other. It is you becoming part of the English world, sentence by sentence, moment by moment. So I give you a small mission. Today, before the day ends, say 1 English sentence to 1 person. Just 1. Maybe at school. Maybe in your home. Maybe online. Maybe to yourself in the mirror. Just say it out loud. Start small, but start today. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Just speak. Because every small sentence you say becomes a brick, and those bricks build your English. They build your confidence. They build your life. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to speak honestly. You don't have to say a lot. You just have to say something. You don't have to be fluent today. You just have to be brave today. Small talk may be small, but it builds a big future. If this video helped you feel brave, if it helped you understand how small talk can grow your English, then please give it a like. Subscribe to this channel for more real English stories and practice you can use in your life. And most important, leave a comment below. Tell me, will you try 1 sentence of small talk today? I'll be reading your answers, and I believe in you. You are ready. You are enough. You can speak. Start small. Start now, and keep going. Thank you for watching. Keep learning. Keep growing.